All right, let's just jump right into one of the biggest questions you can ask. I mean, what is the very nature of our existence? It sounds like something straight out of a movie, but you'll see there are some incredibly compelling arguments that make you question everything.
So, let me ask you this directly. Are you a real conscious person living in a physical universe, or are you just an incredibly sophisticated program running on a computer somewhere? I know, it's wild stuff, pure science fiction, right? But it's also a serious philosophical puzzle that has some of the smartest people on the planet completely captivated.
So, to really get why so many people, we're talking philosophers, tech billionaires, you name it, are even entertaining this idea, we have to look at this powerful argument from a philosopher named Nick Bostrom. And the key here is it's not about finding proof, it's all about playing the odds. Okay, so what are we really talking about? At its core, the simulation hypothesis is pretty simple, even if it feels totally mind-bending. The idea is that everything you see, everything you feel, everything you touch, it's not the base reality. Instead, we're all part of a super advanced program, maybe an ancestor simulation, created by a civilization far, far into the future.
Now, this is where Bostrom's argument gets really clever. He frames it as a trilemma. It's a logical puzzle, and it says that one of three possibilities has to be true. There's no escaping it, no secret fourth door. One of these is our reality.
Okay, let's break this down. Path number one, we just don't make it. Humanity, or any civilization like us, goes extinct before we ever develop the tech to run these kinds of simulations. Path number two, we get the power, we have these unbelievable computers, but we just choose not to. Maybe it's unethical, maybe it's just boring to a super advanced society. But, and this is the big one, if the first two are false, that means advanced civilizations will create simulations of their ancestors. And not just one or two, they'd create billions of them. So if you've got billions of simulated worlds and only one base reality, what are the odds? Well, the odds are overwhelmingly high that we are in one of the simulations.
I mean, that's a compelling argument, right? It's almost dizzying to think about. But what if the strangeness we all sometimes feel about the world, the weird coincidences, the way huge groups of people act so predictably, what if that isn't a glitch in the code? What if it's evidence of something else entirely? This brings us to a whole new question. Is our reality coded, or is it controlled?
And right here, this is the crucial pivot. The whole debate shifts from, is reality fake, to what is the mechanism of the control we feel? You see, in a simulation, our reactions are just algorithmic. It's all code. But in a manipulated reality, the world is real, but our choices, our thoughts, they're being actively steered by some hidden hand.
So think about it this way. When you see society react in these weird, predictable ways, is it a glitch in the matrix? Or is it a carefully engineered nudge from a very powerful source? The case for manipulation suggests that the second option isn't just possible, it's way more probable, because you're working with a reality that's already here. You don't have to invent it from scratch.
This is where the whole manipulation idea really starts to look stronger. Let's just put them head to head. I mean, look at the cost. Simulating an entire universe down to the last atom, the computing power is basically infinite. But manipulating a real society? All you have to do is control the key inputs, information, money, media. And then there's the purpose. Why run a simulation? For historical study, maybe? It's kind of vague, but the purpose of manipulation? Oh, that is crystal clear. It's about power, profit, and social control. It's just a much more efficient way to get what you want.
And it's not just about efficiency. There are some classic, time-tested arguments from philosophy and science that suggest we should be really skeptical of this full-blown simulation idea. They all kind of point to a simpler, more direct explanation for the world around us.
And that brings us to good old Occam's razor. You've probably heard of this one. The principle basically says you shouldn't invent extra stuff to explain something if a simpler explanation works just as well. The simulation hypothesis forces us to invent an entire unprovable base reality for the simulators to live in. It's an extra layer we don't need. The simpler answer is that this reality is just reality. And the hurdles for simulation theory just keep coming. Some physicists will tell you that the deep weirdness of quantum mechanics might be something that's impossible to compute. It's just not algorithmic. But maybe the biggest knock against it is that it's a scientific dead end. It's unfalsifiable. There is no experiment we could ever run from inside the system to prove or disprove it. And when you can't test a theory, it stops being science and starts becoming something more like faith.
So let's just park the idea of being lines of code for a second. If we accept that manipulation is a much more plausible, more logical explanation for that feeling of being controlled, well, that leads us to a final and, honestly, a much more unsettling question.
And really, this is the whole point. This is the big takeaway. The simulation hypothesis is a fascinating, fun philosophical game, but manipulation? That's not a theory. That's an observable reality. We see it every single day in the ads that follow you from website to website, in the political messages that are engineered to fill your news feeds, in the social media algorithms designed not just to predict what you'll do next, but to actually shape it.
So, if our reality isn't a simulation, but maybe more like a stage, that doesn't necessarily mean we're free. It just changes the nature of the game, right? And what does it mean for your free will if you're not a line of code, but maybe a puppet in a grand play you don't even know you're in? The only real question left is, who's holding the controller?